next activity. We have spent most of our time at this point with what they call Boolean operations. These guys here, adding, subtracting, we'll get to intersect in a little bit. But we, you can watch the little animation for it if you'd like. Kind of neat. So it's like two different parts on two different planes and where they touch. So if you've never dealt with that before, that's how that works. But if you look at the rest of these guys, these are some other operations that I wanted to spend just a little bit of time showing you. So these other three here.
You're frozen.
Thanks. Okay. That probably makes more sense. Thanks, Pete. So these three guys right here, we're going to spend some time on looking at. And I think that these are the, I don't want to say cooler, but they do cooler things, in my opinion. So the first one is really, really easy, okay? It's going to be sweep. So we're going to start there at the bottom. Sweep works like this. You are going to make some pattern, and I like to do it with spline because we don't have a huge opportunity to use spline in a lot of instances. So spline is next to line. They add an S and a P. Spline, right? So I'm going to get this guy, and the way it works is everywhere I click, it is going to give me the ability to curve said line. When I'm done with that, I'm going to right-click and go to enter. Okay? See how that guy works? Fun and almost useless, but for this, great. So I'm going to put down a pattern. I could certainly do a line if I wanted to. I could do an arc if I wanted to. Whatever. Okay? So I'm going to show you these a little bit different as we go. But whatever thing you do is called a path. And for those of you that have had some experience with 3D modeling, you probably are familiar with profile and path. That's kind of the general terms that they use in some fashion. These are path. Profile you are going to create using some kind of enclosed shape. So for ease of use, mine is a circle. You could do anything that you poly-edit together, okay? So if you drew yourself a triangle and then PE'd all of the sides together, that is now a profile. If you did a square and PE'd all that together, that is a profile. Literally anything that is in closed shape that you've poly-edited together becomes the same as this guy, functionally. Okay, so I want you to understand that. I'm using a circle because it's fast, but it's not the only way to do it. So this is how this works. I have now a profile and a path. So sweep works like this. I'm going to go to sweep. It's going to ask me down here, select object to sweep. This guy. Enter. And then it's going to ask me to choose a path. So I'm going to use this because I like that guy. That didn't do exactly what I wanted it to do. Yes, it did. Okay? So now when I flip to conceptual, I get this cool tube. And for some of you guys, that's going to be like, holy God, that's so awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So I have that guy, yeah. Right? So profile and path. So I'm going to sweep. I'm going to choose the profile, enter. And then on the command line, you're going to see it says pick the path, right? So I'm just going to pick whatever the path I drew was. And yours could be different than mine. And then I'm just going to flip over to conceptual. Okay? Did you get that? Something like that?
Mine's saying unable to.
Mine says unable.
Yeah, hang on. No? Did it work?
Yeah, I will, because I see mine and you explain, so I
Do it again?
yeah, it's it.
So I have this guy,
Mhm.
okay? I'm going to sweep.
Yeah.
This guy, the enclosed profile,
Yeah.
enter. And then down the path, enter. And then I'm just going to flip to conceptual or whatever.
Oh, that's neat.
So there is really only one reason this could not work. So if you have unable to sweep, selected, blah, 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 self-intersecting, it gives a couple of different errors.
Alignment.
Yeah, alignment's one. Here's the deal. The only reason this won't work is because the circular profile, or whatever you picked, rectangular, octagonal, whatever it is too big for the path, okay? And it's hitting itself, like as it's wrapping around. That's the only reason, all right? So there's a couple of solutions to this. One, if you have something like a spline, you may need to stretch out the points so that they are longer away from each other, right? So that it doesn't contact. The other is that if you have a circle, like I have, you can make it smaller, right? So that it doesn't bang into itself. That's literally the only thing that can keep it, is that when it's going down said path, it's banging into itself in some capacity, all right? So you may have to draw a different circle, you may have to extend the path, you may have to shrink the circle, whatever it is, but that's the only reason, okay?
I shrunk my circle.
You shrink your circle, no problem then, right?
No problem.
Great. Yeah, sweep is actually fairly easy to use, and you know, it's one of those things that if it doesn't work, it's pretty easy to diagnose. It's almost always, I can't really think of another instance where I've had it be like something besides the profile is too big for the path.